Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges...
Diddy will be sued, and I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days. So
it is well known that Diddy has been involved with a number of significant court cases lately, yet the most recent shocking revelation, his kids Christian and Justin might be the next person arrested. Yes, you heard correctly, as per the most recent insider revelations. The FBI is not simply shooting at you, Reggie Wright. Diddy's own kids are now a part of the inquiry, and it appears that things are going to get really complicated. Worse for the entire family of the communicator. Thus, what precisely is happening, and how did Justin and Christian become entangled in every one of this?
Whew. Game changer, y'all. And there's too many people that's not connected to Puffy, which I believe if that talent agent did that and brought him and left him in a room alone and all of that.
Correct, who has extensive experience in the music industry, just disclosed in an interview that is being targeted by the FBI. According to Diddy's sons, there is concrete evidence that connects them to unlawful activities and their participation in much more than simply being in the wrong spot at the incorrect moment. If the information is correct, is true, it might portend catastrophe, but for Diddy alone, but for his whole empire. This goes beyond a few scandals. We are discussing a full-blown inquiry that can result in the destruction of one of the strongest families in the entertainment sector.
A U.S. judge has ruled that the rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs will stand trial on federal trafficking and racketeering charges in May. He'll be held in prison until then. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he used his business empire to transport women and male sex workers across state lines to take part in recorded performances. If convicted, he could face a life sentence.
Let's now take a moment to reflect on how we arrived here. This individual has been criticized for months, dealing with numerous lawsuits and claims that present a completely different image of the music phone as opposed to the one we've seen. Accusations before pertaining to his private life, to allegations that he concealed through his enterprises. The walls have been used for illegal purposes, pursuing Diddy for a while, but although he has received most of the attention, investigators appear to have begun to learn more, and what they have discovered could include his nearest and dearest relatives, participants.
Just incredible. And, it brings into context our whole system of innocent till proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent till proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent till proven guilty. When you have this much...
The claims made by Wright are particularly startling, since they imply if Justin and Christian weren't simply innocent onlookers and all. Wright claims that the FBI has been assembling proof that demonstrates their participation in endeavors that could result in some severe accusations. Of what kind? Let's just say that it's a charge, not the type of material that is simple to ignore it, according to reliable sources that the inquiry is examining. If Diddy's sons could have performed active involvement in a few similar actions their father is taking, which might include anything from making specific tasks easier to taking a direct part in them.
Y'all gotta just stop defending Diddy, y'all. Those are the few of y'all that's in the comment section. Why you always talking about Diddy? This channel, I remember y'all used to say all I talked about was Snoop. All I talked about was Suge. All I talked about was Death Row business. Now I'm talking about something different. All you talk about is Diddy. No, I talk about whatever gonna get us some views.
This is not the initial instance in which Reggie Wright has come forward with such information. In actuality, he has created a renowned for making audacious forecasts Numerous individuals in the music industry have realized in 2023 he was among the, initially implying that Diddy's properties would ultimately be raided and reduced to A. That's precisely what happened a few months later. Today, Homeland Security officials carried out search orders at Diddy's Los Angeles properties in Miami are being seized. Records and further proof that could be essential to the current inquiry. The accuracy record of WRI is a component of what makes these recent discoveries so concerning that if he's correct once more, we could be about to witness Diddy's sons detained and accused in relation to these continuing.
Yo, Diddy sons, y'all need to leave LA. Y'all need to go to Utah or somewhere. Go somewhere and hide until your daddy get these legal problems over. Well, yeah, y'all be all right. Because 2 of y'all gonna be in jail by Christmas as well. Definitely you, Christian, because you think you too tough.
What precisely does Wright say, then? Regarding Justin and Christian, it's rather obvious that the FBI has their SES placed on them and that there's sufficient proof to support their arrests. This Wright asserts that it is not only conjecture. A trail has been discovered by the investigation that directly results in Diddy's sons, and it won't be long before that. Evidence that is made public, sometimes going so far as to the extent of stating that the FBI is awaiting for the ideal time to attack, and when they do, it might be a significant turning point in this situation, which is already explosive. But how were Justin and Christian apprehended? Up in this initially in accordance with, to Wright, they might have participated in their father's commercial activities in ways that are more than simply a component of the Wright's family, suggests that both Justin and Christian have been involved in specific activities that the FBI is currently looking into, and their functions, possibly more important. Before anyone became aware of, some sources even assert that they attended key times when crucial choices were created that might hold them accountable for the legal authorities' eyes.
I mean, it's a legitimate concern. You know, no judge wants to wake up and read the headlines the next day. Oh, they treated this guy special and they gave him bond, and now he's gone and he fled from justice. So that's what's in the back of most judges' minds. On the other hand, you know, we deal with cases where clients have significant funds sometimes. And sometimes where there's money, you can craft a unique solution. You know, years ago it was the ankle bracelet and the ankle monitor.
Christian, whose stage name is King Combs, has continued to adhere to the music industry's father's footsteps. He has been establishing himself as a entertainer and rapper, yet it appears as though his career would be ruined by these legal issues. Justin, however, has become more self-centered venters, and although he hasn't experienced openly participating in the music industry as his brother continues to play a significant role in the empire owned by the family, both of they have consistently been present at Diddy's well-known parties, and, as some claims, that's where a large number of there is no secret that issues may have begun. That Diddy's gatherings are renowned in Hollywood, draws some of the most famous names in fashion, movies, and music, but behind all of the glamour and splendor, there have long-standing suspicions of more sinister events occurring. Some of these, there have even been rumors that there was more than just social interaction during parties, events that were purportedly utilized as a front for operations that are more darker. And now, when the FBI investigates Diddy's, those rumors seem to be about private life, are beginning to get momentum.
Diddy's mom has finally spoken out amidst everything that is happening right now. Janice Small Combs provided a statement to some outlets via her attorney. So she starts off by saying it's very heartbreaking to see her son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies.
According to Wright, Justin and Christian were routine participants in these gatherings, and that they might have had a greater role in what transpired, more behind the scenes than anybody came to understand. That being at Wright was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Claims that Diddy's 2 sons could have been actively taking part in a number of the current activities that fall under Inquiry, if that's accurate, it might imply that Justin and Christian are face some quite significant legal issues. Repercussions. What's even more concerning is the implication Diddy might have participated in these things with his sons as a means of self-defense. Wright claims that Diddy has always exercised extreme caution regarding washing his hands and that he might have depended on people who were closest to. He will handle the grunt work if Christian and Justin participated in these. Even without realizing it, it can make. They are the investigators' top targets, seeking to destroy Diddy's whole network.
If you're just joining us here, was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York tonight. Sources tell TMZ Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying and they arrested him.
However, we must remember that. However, this is only the beginning. The FBI has not issued any formal declarations, but the reality that is revealing this information implies that things are happening fast. Behind the scenes, as Wright claims, the FBI is constructing a case that may lead to numerous arrests, and Christian and Justin are only the beginning. Iceberg, should they be taken into custody, it might let the floods of people come in, and the arrival of Diddy's inner circle, brought for interrogation, and perhaps even demands for charged rights, also brought up some significant doubts regarding the future of Diddy's empire. If Christian and Justin are detained, it might cause a stir impact that affects each and every facet of Diddy has constructed their father's business, an empire encompassing fashion, music, and his kids and the media have been an essential component of that heritage. Yet if they are connected to these unlawful actions that might damage the communications name, permanently departing from Diddy's empire in devastation.
Pay for private security guards to monitor, to report. It's just interesting to me that with all the money he has and all the resources he has, they couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some
Of course, it's crucial to keep in mind that, right, these are still only accusations. Might have a solid record, but if the FBI takes a formal action, we won't know with certainty what will occur. Nevertheless, the reality that Wright is bringing this up at all implies that there will be a significant event soon. Whether Christian and Justin, whether they are arrested, is yet unknown, although it is evident that this research is far from above, and the consequences might be enormous. But where does this leave us? We can only wait and see what happens at this point occurs next, but one thing is certain: if the predictions made by Reggie Wright are accurate, we are going to see one of the largest scandals in the entertainment industry. Diddy's past is already confronting numerous lawsuits, as well as his sons perhaps coming close to being arrested. This might be the start of the demise of one of the strongest families in the music business.
Some form of house arrest. And again, sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, and he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone.
While we await the next, it's worthwhile to consider dropping a surprise regarding the implications of this for the larger universe of Yenti. If Justin and Christian are apprehended, it can cause a chain reaction response that reveals even more prominent people. Diddy's parties have consistently drawn attention to celebrities, and if detectives begin pulling on the thread for no apparent reason, or who they may find next, and that puts this part to a close. Although, hold off on leaving quite yet, because in the following section, we'll examine the further ramifications of this study. What would happen if Diddy's empire fell apart? Is this the beginning of a Hollywood broad reckoning that lowers even more titans of the industry remain? Because there is still more to this story.
I came here today just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Thus, as we examine the situation in further detail, issue concerns the family. One of the calm thing is quite apparent: this isn't just regarding Diddy's son's wrongdoing. Location at the incorrect moment. It's beginning to appear to be a much larger picture. This one has the potential to bring down, not only, in addition to Diddy, some of the most influential figures in the entertainment industry. As suggested by Reggie Wright. The FBI's whole investigation might serve as a springboard for a lot of bigger. Let's dive right into the. We have previously discussed the main points of it. How Justin and Christian could be related to the alleged transgressions of their father. However, what's truly amazing is how other Hollywood's biggest stars could locate themselves entangled in this controversy. Diddy has always played a major role in the music industry, but he's also shoulders with some of the most well-known figures in politics, fashion, and even movies. How deep could this go, I wonder? We'd be looking at an industry-wide, calculating the extent of the fallout outside the family of the calm. Let's give it some thought. Second, Diddy's well-known gatherings have. You have long been the stuff of legends. Listers from all over the world. Entertainment world arriving without. Cameras permitted and gossip circulating for years on what actually occurs behind. Those behind-the-scenes celebrities like Travis Scott, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and even well-known actors such as Leonardo DiCaprio have all been observed attending these gatherings on. The potential surface of these parties appeared to be opulent meetings of the wealthy and well-known, but if the rumors are, it's true that they were far more than that. If the FBI is investigating what transpired, it's not difficult to get down at these parties. Consider that some of these well-known might be sweating right now, of course. Everyone has heard the whispers which parties served as more than a venue for. Celebrities will provide some insider information. Have implied that certain IES were engaged in pursuits that might make headlines for the incorrect reasons, and the FBI inquiry is currently heating up. Those murmurs are beginning to emerge much louder, and there's a genuine likelihood that those who have been connected to Diddy over time may locate oneself in the legal crosshairs. Enforcement.
They're going to try everything. They're going to try to transfer him. They're going to try to get him out. You know, in a normal case where it's a high-profile person or a well-funded person, the prosecution and the judge is a little bit more concerned about a wrongful prosecution, because people that are mad that they're being arrested for a crime they didn't commit can turn around and file for malicious prosecution.
And they all indicate a more extensive trend. Such conduct that has persisted for years, but this is where it gets. Some of these women have intriguing suggested that they weren't alone. They have hinted at the fact that other well-known people could, having attended specific events, and that they may have known about or even taking part in a few more dubious actions that occurred. And the voices are not limited to women. Don't forget about Rodney Lil Rod Jones, who is the music producer Diddy collaborated with. He has come forth on the Love album with some really startling charges of. Jones asserts on his own that when he saw everything while working with Diddy. Several unsettling occurrences, such as unlawful actions involving other. He has even claimed that he was a celebrity, under duress to remain silent about what he observed, and that anyone attempting to communicate swiftly put a stop to Jones' case, cited a number of Diddy's associates, as well as his boys, and it's easy to consider the possibility of adding more names to the list as the inquiry progresses.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and rape at the hands of Diddy.
The most absurd thing is that some of those connected to Diddy, because these years rank among the most Hollywood's untouchable figures, were referring to those who constructed whole empires with millions of admirers and who've carefully selected their public pictures to look spotless. However, where does the FBI's probe go? People believe that we might be examining the cascading effects that result in naming some of the most well-known figures in the business. We must remember that Diddy's effect extends much beyond he has been a prominent figure in the music industry, in style with his Shah John apparel line, and he has even dabbled in the television industry with his participation in programs such as Making the Band, together with his Kirk, of course, brand that has brought him great wealth and provided him with an additional means of communication. The point with other influential people is D has a wide range, and if he falls, it is easy to envision that he could lose other people in his orbit alongside him.
Every jail is bad, and some jails are worse than others. And the problem, again, is if you move him, why is he getting special treatment? And maybe he's earned special treatment. Maybe what he's done, maybe he's given so much back to his fans and to the world and to charity that maybe there's a way that it plays out in the end. But again, to go into court and say this jail is bad, move him to another jail.
One name that has been in circulation quite a bit lately, Reggie Wright. Wright is no longer merely a stranger speaking out of turn, has strong ties throughout the music business. Yet he has enough life experience to know where several skeletons are interred. He has been creating a stir with his forecasts regarding Diddy's demise, and he has been spot on thus far. Recall that it was he who made the prediction that a raid would occur on Diddy's estates. Then a few months later, we observed swarms of Homeland Security agents, Diddy's residences in Los Angeles and Miami. Wright's assertion that Diddy's sons and possibly other famous people could. It's difficult not to be next in queue for arrest. In order to believe him, Wright has even suggested that the FBI is constructing a lot more extensive case that might even implicate additional individuals in Hollywood. Keys proposed that Diddy's demise might be the initial dam crack, and that after when the floodgates opened, a tidal wave of accusations and arrests that rock the entertainment sector to its core. If accurate, this might be the largest, Hollywood's biggest scandal in decades, and it can leave many strong individuals rushing to safeguard their reputations.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who he leaves in charge of when he goes and lay down. Because, yeah, he still reportedly only have $400 million right now. And after all these lawsuits and judgments and all of that, he going to have still at least 25 to 50 million once everything's said and done. And that's still a big fortune to look over and, to watch over.
However, it's intriguing how silent some of Diddy's the closest companions and associates have been. In the midst of all of this, individuals like Jay-Z, who has been among Diddy's closest supporters, remained silent for years regarding the ongoing inquiry. Is it possible that they are awaiting the outcome of the situation out prior to acting, or is it perhaps they're concerned about falling victim to the fall, and the fallout itself is difficult to describe since yes, but there is one thing that is for sure. When an empire falls, it will have an impact on many individuals, and it's not only the music business that might be affected. Diddy's relationships go beyond he has been vocal in the political sphere as well, advocate for a number of political concerns, and he has even conversed with several very well-known politicians around the years. In the event that the inquiry finds Diddy used his power to defend himself or other law enforcement officials, it could produce a significant scandal that affects everyone. The route to Washington, D.C.
You go from living large with your multi-million-dollar mansion and your private plane and your fancy cigars to living in a...
One valuable item. It's noteworthy how meticulously Diddy has constructed his reputation throughout the years. He's presented himself as a family man at all times, someone who is committed to his kids, someone who has put a lot of effort into creating a legacy they can take pride in, but if sons are ultimately taken into custody as a result of this inquiry, that picture might be. It would be a catastrophic blow if it were broken. Diddy's well-constructed persona, and it might render it practically impossible to get better in the eyes of the public.
He was killed when I was 3 years old. I don't have a lot of memories of my father. They say, you can't miss something you never had. So that's only a little ways right, There's definitely been times as I've gotten older that I've missed my father.
Additionally, let's not overlook Diddy's financial ramifications. Companies are valued at millions, and if he was found to have committed any wrongdoing, might significantly affect his bottom line. Investors may begin to withdraw. Business partnerships may fail, and the fall of an empire could occur just before our eyes. And whether Justin and Christian are also implicated, it might spell the end of the dynasty of the Combs line as we know it. But what's most intriguing is how this inquiry may lead to a lot of further discussion around the whole entertainment sector. There have been rumors for years regarding Hollywood's dark side, how some of the top celebrities have exercised their influence and persuasion to avoid consequences that would destroy the career of anyone else. If Diddy's probe by the FBI reveals a wider corruption network, it might compel the sector to adopt a long, hard look at itself.
Public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing and the weight of the federal government.
We have witnessed this occur. Have we considered the Mia before movement and the way it broke some of the most influential men's careers? It began with just a few women in Hollywood speaking up, but it soon developed into a movement that revealed the unsightly, developed into a movement that brought the unpleasant to light beneath the surface of the entertainment industry. Could this Diddy and Diddy inquiry, his sons, mark the start of a new? Could we be on reckoning in Hollywood? About to witness even more celebrities are held accountable for their activities. It's unquestionably feasible, and if something occurred, it might alter how we consider the entertainment sector. Celebrities would never again be able to conceal themselves by their notoriety, and instead, they would be retained by fortune, responsible for their deeds, much like everyone else. And that's something that many Hollywood individuals might not prepare yourselves for.
There's no way they can't move in the general population. And would he be at risk? Sure, he'd be at risk. There's so many people that have nothing to lose, right? They're going to be in jail the rest of their life. They've got nothing to. They want their 15 minutes of fame. They were friends with Diddy, or they hurt Diddy, or they killed Diddy, or they did. There's so many, people in jail that this would be their moment. You can't put them there. Plus,
where does this mean that for the time being, all we can wait to observe how as the investigation progresses? One thing is, this story is definitely not going away. As soon as additional information becomes available, we might be observing one of the biggest scandals in Hollywood history. Even if the forecasts made by Reggie, Wright are correct, Christian's arrests and Justin might be only the first in. The true query at the end is how deep, how many individuals did this? Orbit was aware of what was happening, and how many of them might end up facing impending legal issues. Months while the inquiry is ongoing, more names will probably be dragged into the limelight, and the repercussions might be disastrous for anyone apprehended. Given the crossfire, what are your thoughts? Might this be the start of the end? For the empire of Diddy and which other celebrities may discover that involved as the narrative progresses. Let's share your opinions in the comments section below. And remember to subscribe in order to stay informed about all the most recent advancements in this spectacular case.
I think it's to be expected, just the shock of this and the questions about what is ahead of us. I mean, how long is he going to be in custody? Is this an R. Kelly situation? Is he going to not get out for a number of years? Is he going to end up serving a long-term prison sentence from this? Or does he have a chance of beating these charges at a trial that could come, within the next